Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another SLG Meetup. Happy Friday, your host Albert, to bring you another exciting topic about luxury. And in this case, we're going to be switching from homes all the way to yachts. And for that, we're going to have the CEO of Fraser Yachts. His name is Raphael Sauleau. And he's going to tell us why his company has become one of the world's leading full-service yachting companies in the world. There he is, Marvin, Raphael. How you doing?
I'm very well. How you doing?
Well,
All good, Alvaro? Having
after
a
I
nice
found
Friday?
out, I mean, the Friday is amazing, but it's now even better that we have this conversation because now that I found out that not only you're a successful businessman that runs one of the world's leading companies in the world, but you are also a super triathlete. I mean, it's
Well,
amazing.
trying to be, getting old as well.
Well, doing these kind of things is what keeps you young, but it's very difficult to find people that can manage, running a successful business, a whole family, and on top of that, to do these ultra races. I mean, you and
Yeah.
I were talking about how these Ironman races are so difficult to do and to keep both things aligned. So this is incredible. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. It's like everything in life, discipline, right? Discipline and motivation, maybe in business or in sports. As long as you have these two, I would say, skills in between brackets, I guess
Hmm.
these take you very far. So obviously, I'm not a champion, but I'm having a good time doing these races and trying to train amongst my business trips and meetings and running a company. But hey, that's all about fun. This is what life has to offer you, so you need to grab it.
No, I think it's fantastic. And look, not only it's making you a good thing, but you're also inspiring those around you because, I was actually having lunch a few hours ago with my brother who also has 4 kids, runs a successful business, and he did an Ironman for the first time with me last year. And I was like, man, that has way more credit than what I do because, I don't have the kids. So when I found someone like yourself that not only is super successful in your particular field, which in this case is yachts, and we'll talk more about it in a minute. But I just wanted to emphasize for people that are watching or listening to this that you are like a Superman, to do all these things. It's incredible.
No,
I
no,
love it.
no, no, no. I'm not a Superman. Supermans are guys who are doctors or surgeon or these kind of guys are what I call Superman. We just having fun running, biking, swimming,
Going
and
crazy.
running company and going crazy. I'd rather spend my time with all due respect to everybody else, biking, swimming, than going in the evening too late in the bars and in the pubs. And that
Uh,
sports keeps me on the right spot and direction, and keep me focused. This is why I do it.
mhm.
And that's one of the reasons I do a lot of sport. I mean, in our lives, because of the traveling and sometimes it can be stressful to run a company in a very competitive world,
Mhm.
especially what we've been through the last years, all of us, with the pandemic and now the conflict and now all this gloom and doom about the recession.
Yeah.
I think it's very important you keep your head up and you are able to get that breath of fresh air. And I think sport gives you that, and other things also, obviously, like readings and cinemas and music and spending time with people like you, talking and exchanging.
No, I think that's fantastic. Thank you for saying that because I totally agree. But now tell us about yourself and about Fraser Yachting. I mean, how has your company become one of the world's leading full service yacht company in the world?
Well, Fraser has been 75 years in the business. And actually, we're celebrating our 75th anniversary this year. And as
Wow.
you may know, the famous Monaco Boat Show is around the corner, starting next week.
Yeah.
So we're all in a go mode, if you may say, and therefore, we're going to be taking that opportunity to celebrate our anniversary. We've been around, our company, the founder was in California, as a matter of fact, and he started selling small boats and became successful opening a company in Florida, which became the hub for yachting in the US, as you know. And on the other side, on our side of the pond in Europe, precisely in Monaco, a company also became rather successful doing yachting and all-around services, and they decided to acquire Fraser Yacht at the time, but kept the name Fraser. So
Yeah.
we've been in the business. We kept on growing. After the initial founders, we were acquired by a company called Benetti, which is a shipbuilder, quite well renowned. And then 3 years ago, we went back to American ownership with a company called MarineMax, which is the largest boat retailer in the world. And they basically acquired Fraser. They saw the potential, and I have to say they were smart enough. They acquired us right before the big yachting boom. So they were very smart in doing that, and we've been very fortunate. You know, the yachting industry has been very busy, to say the least, the last couple of years. The post-pandemic was a good. Yeah, I mean, we saw people. This is when we realized people were just so eager to get out there, enjoy their life, and you know, the ones who said, "I may go into a charter, I may buy a boat," but never did it because they thought, you know, that was a bit too expensive, or that was this, or what. I'd say, you know what, let's do this. After what we went through, we must do this. And so this played, of course, in our favor in growing the company further. We just opened now an office in Greece. We have opened one in Qatar. We're going to probably open one in the Middle East again. We are growing again in America. So yes, busy on all fronts.
It's incredible what the yacht industry has done in the last couple of years, huh?
Yeah, no, we saw an increase. I think last year you were looking at almost 100% increase versus the previous year. With a demand for all services, not only to buy a yacht, but also charter a yacht, also for people who want their yacht to be managed, like we do. And all services were in high demand. And obviously, we have a little drop now this year in terms of the sales, but the demand for charter is still extremely high. So I think there's a huge appetite for yachting for the reason you mentioned. Privacy is one. Also the fact that you can travel from A to B to C without unpacking, packing, showing your passport. And one thing which is extremely important, the fact that you are together with your loved ones and you really enjoy them and yourselves. I mean, I used to represent a very rich man in Asia before I went into Fraser, and he used to tell me, you know what, why I love yachting? I say, you know, the sea, the boat. We say no, because this is the only place I can be with my family, enjoy them. You know, after a couple of days, everybody drops the iPad, the iPhone, the this, the that, and we all go around the table and discuss and go diving, jet skiing, whatever. And he said, "This is heaven for me." You know.
Tell us what's going on.
Well, yeah, you know, for sure. When you buy a new yacht, it's wonderful. This is your best time, right? Like when you buy a new house or you buy a new car.
Yeah,
but you know, if you go into the yachting industry thinking you're gonna make a benefit, or you're gonna resell for an added value, this is a wrong approach. You know, when you come into yachting, it is for your own enjoyment and your own life, and therefore, of course, you know, like anything, a yacht costs you money. So it's nice to buy, but when you buy your yacht, you need to keep in mind that you're gonna have to run it, and running a yacht costs you money.
Now, but obviously you've been doing this for so many years, so I think that you've seen it all. So tell me what's been, I guess, the hardest thing ever being in this industry, and what did you learn from it?
Well, I think we've seen what we've seen the last, I've been in yachting overall 10 years, if I include my previous experiences. I mean, you see obviously a shift in what people do with their yacht, where they're going, and why they come into yachting. And I think one of the main shifts we've been seeing is that attraction for younger and younger generation to come into yachting. And that is really visible the last 3-4 years, you know. If I take Fraser, for example, the average age of our customers used to be 55 to 65. Now we're 45 to 55. So I think that's a main shift here, where yachting now is able to attract younger generations, which again, it's a very positive sign for our industry.
Yeah,
meaning,
absolutely.
You know, you have a clientele which is going to stay into yachting for quite some time. So that's one of the main shifts. Obviously, that comes with new itineraries, more expedition-like yachting, people going more to remote places, not necessarily, you know, having their boat in front of one of the famous places in Saint-Tropez or places like this. You still have this, though. It still exists.
Of course.
But you see more and more People wanted to go, Antarctica, North Pole, fjords, Asian yachting, and now that obviously the world is slowly but surely reopening after the pandemic. I think we're going to see this again happening. The diversity of toys on board, so jet skis, paddle boards, you name it, sea bobs. So you see all these shifts, and when it comes to the yacht itself, obviously, there's a big work done to make the yachts a bit more sustainable. So we see a lot of investment made for electricity, battery pack on board yachts. So of course, a yacht will not be 100% green today. It's going to take some time because, a big yacht consume a lot, especially the air conditioning and all of this. So, but there as well, you see a lot of investment from the shipyard and also the owners to find the best solution to become more and more sustainable. So all of these are very interesting shifts. So some are more leisure related and some are more technical and mindset related.
Right.
And I think we're going to go toward that direction where you're going to see more and more changes like this,
I mean, the yachts that we see nowadays is unbelievable. And obviously in Fort Lauderdale for the boat show, we're going to definitely keep on seeing them because it's just incredible what technology and all these companies are putting together. It's incredible. But I got to ask you this because obviously me focusing on real estate and everything luxury related, now you start seeing all these floating houses, right? That they're considered boats, they're considered yachts, but they're, a house. So what's your takeaway on these things?
Well, I think it's a different world than ours. It's with all due respect to the floating houses, but I believe it's a very good compromise between the houses, the floating houses, and the yacht. So you're a little bit in between. You benefit from being, somewhat at sea or on the water, with the feeling of being at sea or on the water. You have also the structure of a somewhat regular house, but obviously, you're not going to be going further to the Bahamas.
Never.
Yeah. So I think that's a good compromise, and I've seen some of these houses in Fort Lauderdale, as a matter of fact, and some of them are super cool. Something very similar you find in Europe to some extent. What they call the river peniche. They are this kind of a barge.
Yes.
And it's similar in the concept, but very different in the way it's been built. Because clearly, what you see now in Florida and other places, these new floating houses are built like a house. You have the bedrooms, you have the layout.
It's exactly it's a house. It's a house that is floating, so it cannot be. But they're like breaking a bit the rules of like you can actually do short-term rentals and everything because it's considered a boat, not a house. But anyway, that's a different topic. I definitely want to ask you this question because this is something that we ask every single one of our guests. And for you, what's the meaning of luxury?
Good question. I'm asked this question so often. For me, what is the epitome of luxury? Time.
There you go.
You know why? Because there's the only thing you cannot buy, right?
True. That's true.
And therefore, this is true luxury. And this is why when you have in an environment or in a place or with people where you feel you completely have the time to enjoy yourself, life. For me, that's the best. I don't need to have the best car, the best watch, the best whatever. If I have time to fulfill my dreams and enjoy myself, this is the key. This is my luxury.
That's pure luxury right there. Well, that and of course, a good place to run, to bike, and to swim, right?
Absolutely. But to do all of this, you need to make time.
You need time. Exactly. I was going to say, because otherwise, especially a family is going to be like, oh my God, there he goes again to go for a 3-hour run or like another crazy.
But my wife is like, just go. You need to run, go.
Yeah, go. Well, because, exactly. It brings good benefits into your life.
Yeah.
But no, it was amazing to know you. And obviously, you're a very incredible, not only businessman, but individual as a whole. Because you bring good energy, you bring good passion, and you also bring excellent background with everything that you do, which is something that a lot of people find it so difficult to do these days. Not to mention to run a business, but to do everything that you do on the side. So No,
Yeah,
congratulations.
if you want to do it, you can do it. Remember, you're an Ironman yourself. Nothing is impossible. Well,
Right.
thank you so much, Alvaro, and I wish you the best of success with the Ironman, and maybe we can catch up when I'm over in Fort Lauderdale for the boat show.
Absolutely. Thank you for those that were watching now or will watch
Yeah.
this later. Make sure to follow Raphael and Fraser, and all the best for everything that you have coming up.